Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another new movie review. Today we are going to be talking about Happy Death Day. So, Happy Death Day is about a college student named Tree who ends up living her birthday over and over and over again. And at the end of the day, she keeps dying. So until she figures out who her killer is, she will continue to live the day over and over. But let's go ahead and get into what I liked about this, because I actually really enjoyed this. And I sound just like so shocked. But I don't know, the trailer just made it seem like it was kind of just one of those, like, you know, mainstream teen kind of horror movies. So I didn't go in with super high expectations. I figured, like, at best I would think the movie was okay. But it actually really took me by surprise. I ended up enjoying it quite a lot. Among the things that it does do right, it has really good pacing. I feel like it could easily get boring to watch the same thing happen over and over again, especially like the beginning of the day, because that's how you kind of, that's your kind of basis for how Tree is acting differently, by seeing how she interacts with those same events that happen over and over again. So like when she walks out of the dorm and she sees the hipster and then the girl asking her to sign a petition to stop global warming and the car alarm and stuff like that. So it could get really boring to see that over and over again, but the way they pace it and, you know, when they choose to skip over it or to not skip over it, I think I don't know, it just works really well. I didn't ever get bored, or it's like right as soon as I was wanting something else to happen, something else happened. So I think it could have easily gone south there, but they pulled it off really well. The scares were all right. I think this kind of blends into kind of like the horror comedy area. I wasn't expecting it to be so humorous. I didn't think it was a comedy at all, but it definitely is a horror comedy for sure. But the scares are okay. There's not a lot of jump scares, but they're your typical jump scares, and there's a few creepy bits, but other than that, it's more like violence than anything. And then the humor is well paced as well. I think they spread out the humor really well, and it's not overdone. The thing that just gets me with like a horror comedy blend is when they overdo the comedy. And I think it could have been really easy to do the same kind of jokes over and over and over again. So I like that it was like, the humor was well spread out. It was like well dispersed throughout the movie, and there wasn't too much of it. So I really enjoyed that. It was kind of refreshing. And then of course I have to talk about my favorite part of this movie, and that is Tree, the character Tree. But I really, really enjoyed Tree's character arc. When it starts out, she is just like, it's totally unrealistic, and I've seen some criticism on the movie about this, how it's like, you know, as college students, they're super unrealistic, but I took that as like a comedy element. Like they were kind of supposed to be caricatures, like this, like, cause Tree is a sorority girl. So she wakes up in the bed of some guy, so we assume like she's slutty, she's, you know, she has a thing going on with one of her teachers, she's mean to her other sorority sisters, and like, so she's just really starts off as just like an awful, bitchy, slutty person. And so, I mean, that works well in the movie's favor, because you're kind of just sitting there like, well, no wonder somebody wants to offer, like, I would probably kill her too. In a lot of other horror movies, her type of character would be kind of like the opposite to the final girl, who's obviously virginal and doesn't do anything bad or anything like that. So I liked that this type of character was now the lead, was now the final girl. And they really give her depth. Like obviously as she lives the same day over and over again, she learns things about herself, and she is able to see how awful she is being. And she has that moment where she's kind of like, no wonder somebody's trying to kill me, like I'm an awful person. And obviously she fixes that. throughout the movie. But and I also like that she had to hold her own. She didn't have anybody to help her, because if you think about it, there are a few times where she tells somebody what's happening, like especially the guy whose room she keeps waking up in, Carter. There are a few times where she tells him what's happening, and you know, being the nice the nice love interest guy that he is, he believes her. But ultimately, when she dies at the end of the day and then wakes back up, he doesn't remember, obviously, so she's ultimately on her own for the whole movie. So there's really nobody else she can rely on to help fight her battles with her. She has to do it herself. She has to figure out the murderer herself, and she has to stop the murderer herself. And I really like that. It was really nice to see, you know, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be rolling your eyes when I say this, but it was really nice to see a female character that could hold her own, that couldn't automatically hold her own, if you know what I mean. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but like kind of like You're Next, how Sharni Vincent's character already was a badass and she already knew how to take care of herself. That's fine, that worked well for the movie. I'm not, before anybody jumps all over me, I'm not putting down that type of female character. I love that type of female character. But I also liked Tree, that she didn't start off that way, and she just gradually got to that point where, you know, she realizes that she has to do this herself, and then she does the damn thing, like, and she turns into a badass. It was a really, like, I'm talking it up, but that's just because I'm so, like, I was so pleased with it. It was really surprising. I didn't know it was going to be like that. And it was really refreshing. I really liked her character. Since I was feeling so into like the female empowerment of this movie, the only thing I can say I didn't like was the motive of the killer, and I'm not gonna spoil anything. But I will just say it has to do with a guy. Ultimately, the killer does have a funny line when Tree kind of calls them out and says, you know, like, all this over so-and-so. And then they add in like, well, I think you're a dumb bitch too, or something like that. I just really wish it wasn't over a guy. I don't know. I was a little bit like, okay. I do like who the killer ended up being, and nobody is gonna believe me, but I guessed it. And I should have said it on camera, damn it. My little brother can vouch for me. If you go find him on Twitter or Instagram or something. And ask him yourself. I think he's the only person I told. I was like, it's either this person or this person. Like, I'm putting in my guess now. And as soon as I got home from the movie, I was just like, I was right! It was one of the ones that I guessed. So I was really satisfied with the end though. Just not their motive. So should you watch Happy Death Day? I'm gonna say yes. Again, probably not gonna be for everybody. I feel like it's kind of split down the middle with the reviews I've seen. Some people think it's just like, you know, another silly mainstream horror movie, and I can see how people would see that, and other people did enjoy it. I don't know, I guess just the mood I was in or something. I really liked it. So I'll recommend you go watch it. Hell yeah. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I really liked it. It definitely isn't my favorite horror movie of the year, but it's definitely making like top 6 or something like that. Like it made it up there for sure. On IMDb right now, and this is as of Saturday, as I'm filming this, it has a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes has a 68% critic score and a 74% audience score, which really isn't bad. And then Roger Ebert gave it a 2 out of 4, so make of that what you will. So if you've seen Happy Death Day, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and then every single day this month there is a movie review up for Shocktober. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.